Hello everybody, Dean the Autist, welcome back, I guess, and yeah. Alright, today's art club meeting is currently on hold while everyone waits for Nomiya to show up. I take this time to try to explain my theory about Yamakuja Rin. I've tried to figure out what exactly the school feels so try to figure out what exactly about the school feels so special to me. That concept I unusually tried to explain to Yuko the other day. It's still difficult, but the track meet and the time I've spent observing my fellow students have helped my ideas mature a little. Have you noticed that people talk all the time? I can't really explain it, but once again, as I try to explain my observation, I'm struggling for words. The student body is heavily cliqued, and I'm only now beginning to make sense of the intricate grouping and popularity networks. And yet, the feeling of being a part of a group is stronger here than I remember it being in my old schools. I'm trying to say that this school isn't like other schools, or at least the students aren't, even after discounting the obvious. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what you mean. Oh well, whatever then. I want to pursue the issue, but at that point, Nomiya arrives. The teacher is wiping sweat from his forehead with a handkerchief, breathing rather heavily. He quickly glances over the room then settles down a bit. Hello, apologies for being late. Is everyone present? Good. I must confess, I haven't really planned anything for today, as I've been extremely busy lately. But I'm sure we can come up with something entertaining. Anyone have any suggestions? I was thinking we could have a discussion circle since we haven't had one in a while. I, at least, found the last one magnificently enjoyable. There's some more murmurs here or there, but nobody raises their voice in support or against Nomiya. We could delve into various movements of art, or does someone have a good topic in mind? Go on, throw it out there. It doesn't matter if it's silly or odd. We can always cook up something interesting. No one, it seems, brave enough to make such a suggestion. As the awkward silence refuses to be broken, I lift my hand in the air. Oh-ho? Our newest friend seems to have something on his mind. Speak up, boy, speak up. Well, I don't know about anyone else, but I've always wondered why art exists in the first place. My voice trails off. A silence sets in the room, and nobody makes a follow-up on my meek suggestion. Then the teacher bursts in laughter. Oh, excellent. Very good indeed. Right out of the gate with the big one, huh? Fabulous. Chuckling, he shifts some papers around his desk for a few moments. When he's done, he appears to have made some sort of decision. Very well then. Let us run with this and see where it gets us, shall we? Oh my, even an old fogey like me gets excited when such delicious enthusiasm is present. Oh my, indeed. Why is he sticking his tongue out? What is wrong with you? Okay. Let me gather my thoughts for a moment so I can figure out a good starting point for everyone. For some reason, the teacher seems to be almost literally bursting with excitement. He scribbles a few things down on a loose sheet of paper, then cleans his glasses with the handkerchief. He strikes a pose, then freezes for an overtly dramatic, artistic pause that spans what must be half a minute. It's so quiet, I could hear a pin drop. First, let's come up with a few questions we want answered, such as, what is art? And why does art exist? Anyone have any questions that might be related? The boy with the sunglasses pipes up almost immediately. His voice is soft and quiet, and I have a hard time making out what he says. What defines an artist? After him, another question pops up. If I fill a cardboard box with water and call it art, is it art? Everyone laughs at that, even the teacher. Great, wonderful, all of these. Let me start by saying that this is not a clear-cut issue by any means, and as such, I'm not going to give any answers to you. I'm only going to speak from my own perspective. Scholars have argued about these sort of questions since time immemorial, and there have never really been a broadly applicable consensus reached. There are, however, some qualities that most tend to generally agree upon. Hopefully, you all should find these acceptable as well. In short, art defines itself. It simply cannot be contained to a definition from the outside, since the boundaries of art expand and contract from forces within. Every day, someone somewhere comes up with something completely outrageous that challenges any and all preconceptions. The core reason for this is that rather than the rational side of the mind, art appeals to the intuition, the instinct, the primal. You would find it very hard to explain what exactly it is that you enjoy in some particular style or piece, no? He doesn't wait for a response before continuing. This is exactly why. So, art is this sort of wild, uncontrollable thing that lurks somewhere deep in our subconscious. Now, why does it exist? Nomiya apparently expects someone to pipe up with a guess, but as nobody dares to interrupt his inspired speech, he continues. It was a trick question. You see, art also validates itself. I didn't quite care for The Godfather. It insists upon itself. Generally speaking, you might say that art exists for no other purpose than itself. It's something that exists merely to leave a mark in history. Not sure about that one, but okay. It's the defiance of a mortal against the face of darkness, as was once said. Art is truly the proof of our existence. And should you know that human culture and civilization are tightly tied to the existence of art. Then what about artists? What drives a man to dedicate his life to a thing so fickle and mysterious that it even defies definition? There are many answers for this, as there are artists, but if I had to put it into words, an artist doesn't make art because he can, but because he must. Nomiya takes a pause, and his gaze sweeps over his audience, eyes flaring with passion. It is obvious that art touches the very soul of each and every human being in one way or another. So if you are given a chance to connect with your fellow man in such a fundamental way, how could you not? There is a poem I'm very much fond of, and I shall recite the most well-known part of it now. I feel that for me personally, of all possible things, it captures best the essence of what it means to be an artist. Nomiya leans against the desk as he clears his throat in preparation. Looking at some distinct place, he utters the words in the heavy afternoon air with his soft basso voice. To see a world in a grain of sand, and a heaven in a wild flower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity in an hour. There's a solemn and unbelievably awkward silence after he finishes reciting the short fragment. Nobody dares speak a word. Art friends, I swear. I'm so special and yeah. Yeah. You ever have a teacher that, like, you can tell has, like, failed in their dreams, and so they teach? That's what you get from Nomiya. To be an artist is to see the world in a grain of sand. You see, dear children, without arts, there would not be much to live for in this world. It is a most profound thing. I mean, okay, there's having families. That doesn't require art. There's let me think. Again, there's a very rational people that make, science and their jobs and a lot of other things, like helping other people, their entire life's work, and that doesn't require art. Like, yes, art is a good thing for civilization. Like, it is basically a civilization's soul, right? But there is a lot of things that are done without art, right? And anyways, I'm rambling. I'm sorry, but like, I understand it's important, like to have art in a society, right? Because it appeals to, I think, our collective. It appeals to a culture or society's mythos, and again, their soul. Because frankly, without I'm rambling. There's definitely like way smarter people that like cover this topic. I'm just like, but like, you know, art is important, but there's like a lot of other things that are also important. So yeah, he's clearly touched by this notion. I almost expect to see a lone tear rolling down his rough cheek, but it never comes. I turn to Rin and whisper to her. So how is this a discussion circle? She shrugs nonchalantly back at me. The previous ones were the same. To his credit, Nomiya does try to get some debate going, but the club seems to be reluctant to comply. Yeah, like, again, if you have an art club, you're not gonna have very many people that like debate, because artists prefer to create things, they prefer to make things, rather than just like going in a circle and then talking about it. It's like they prefer to express themselves rather than just like constantly go head to head to other people, right? That's why, like, look, you're not gonna see like a lot of artists like join a debate club or some shit. like honestly, personally, I don't view myself as an artist, but I know some artists. I don't know. Then again, it's not like this for all artists, but I'm like, I'm showing you, well, not showing you, I'm telling you of my own personal experiences. Like, I feel a bit guilty about opening my mouth. Maybe we would have been spared from this. As the meeting comes to a close, I realize we haven't touched any paint or pens today, and I feel somewhat disappointed. Nomiya suddenly appears next to us. He seems to be still fired up from the speech he delivered. His cologne smells musky and saccharine at the same time, giving me an instant headache. Even though I'm not sensitive to perfumes, he's looking at Rin like a hungry wolf. Tezuka, do you remember Miss Sayonji who visited at the festival? I think so. I'm going to tell you something amazing. The thing is, she's a very well-known gallerist around here. It turns out I might be able to get her to consider having some of your work put on display. He ends his sentence with a dramatic gesture, and it seems he's expecting Rin to show some sort of joyous, shocked reaction at such grand news, and she just stares at him blankly. Actually, yeah, that's right. Okay, there was this, I think it was Art Chad, but there's like multiple other quote-unquote art channels, and basically they go over the history and art and stuff. Like, that stuff is interesting. Like, personally, as, you know, again, I'm not an artist, so I don't really care about, you know, making the paintings and stuff like that. But like, the history of art is actually really interesting. And again, I got the idea that art is the soul of a culture from. So, you know, like, there's some videos by like Art Chat and like some other creators on YouTube, and they're pretty cool, honestly. Like, yeah, and they go over the history of certain art movements, and it's pretty interesting. It's especially how they like unite with world history and stuff like that, and why modern art is shit. So basically, the reason why modern art is shit is because of the CIA. Or was it the FBI? Either way. And he ends his sentence with a dramatic gesture. It seems he's expecting Rin to show some sort of joyous, shocked reaction at such grand news. But she just stares at him, blankly. Magnificent, isn't it? This could be a real chance for us to get ahead, girl. But... Now, I know what you're going to say. Yes, it wouldn't be a simple affair, but I think this is an absolutely fantastic opportunity. Yeah, like, as you can see, Nomiya is just inserting himself into these, like, he's living vicariously through his students. Like, frankly, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we even made it big. This could be the first step. And then when the word is out, we strike while the iron is hot, right, Nakai? Oh boy. I'm lucky enough to never have had a teacher like this, but I know it's common enough, especially in creative fields, that, like, I hear stories about these type of teachers all the time. Like, this is ridiculous, bro. Come on. Honestly, like, I was about to say something, but, like, considering the time period this game takes place in, it might have not have worked back then, but okay. So, alright, one thing you can do as a teacher, rather than living vicariously through your students, is post your work online, right? If you're an artist, post your art online. If you're a musician, post your work online. If you are a writer, post your work online, right? If it sucks, it sucks, right? If it doesn't suck and, like, gets attention, wow, lucky you. You did a good job. Wonderful. There's nothing wrong with just posting random shit online and seeing what sticks, right? You don't need a corporation. You don't need editors. You don't need, like, brand deals or anything like that. You don't need, like, companies controlling your actions if you basically just work as an independent creator and post stuff online. And, you know, you could do what you want to do while, you know, working and things like that, right? So, like, you know, we live in the age of the internet, and the age of the internet is great because of that reason, right? You get people that would have never been heard before, right? They would have been rejected, right? Posting stuff, right? You got, what was it, like, was it Kane Pixels? You know, like, I never seen the backgrounds, I have no interest in it, but, like, I keep seeing these, like, you know, shit posts about this, like, 20-year-old guy, and, like, he's apparently, like, a very respected, you know, director of movies now, because he first started posting very impressive videos on his YouTube channel, and then he got a director's position. So, yeah, there's, like, countless other, you know, creative types just posting random stuff, but, like, you know, like, just try it. Just try posting something online, because, honestly, if you don't give it a shot, you're never going to get anywhere. And, you know, like, there was this image, right? And, it's like, oh, you gave it a shot and you still missed? Well, that's still good, because most people don't even try. And, you know, that's what I think, because, you know, most people just give up immediately. They worry about, like, what the type of thing they're making, like, what reaction other people are gonna have to it. They immediately fold to, like, some, like, oh, this sucks. Like, I'm not talking about good criticism, I'm talking about, quote unquote, bad criticism, where it says, you know, where it doesn't give any actual advice on, like, how to write something, and just says, this is dog shit. So, you know, like, a lot of people just fail at that. Plus, there's also the TikTok generation, and again, I've never used TikTok, but, like, there's a TikTok generation, and what they do is that they commodify every single sort of hobby and thing like that, and then, like, these elitists in these circles will call you, what they'll do is that they'll call you, like, they'll make fun of you and call you a casual for, like, not doing this thing correctly or as an elite, even though, again, art is the expression of oneself, and can be the soul of a culture and things like that, even though our culture is pretty dog shit. But anyways. So, again, sorry about the rambling. It's just I'm very passionate about this sort of thing. It's like, come on, like at least try, right? Don't live through other people to do something. Don't do it. Like, again, like I think I said I'm working on writing, right? I'm working on writing something, and you know what? One of the like at some point you just gotta like stop caring about what other people think and just show what you made to other people. And frankly, if it's bad, it's bad, right? You're never going to improve, right? You're not going to immediately make a masterpiece. You're never going to improve if you don't post, like if you don't show it to other people, right? And eventually, right, you can make something that is really good, but you have to keep trying at it. And sorry. See, we definitely should not let this one pass, am I right? I don't really. Rin seems to be troubled for some reason. I can't figure out why. What Nomiya is saying doesn't indeed sound like a possibility of a great thing. She looks pretty down, though, and confused. I've never seen her like this. So what do you think? Rin looks up to her teacher's glowing face, then back at her own desk. I'll think about it. Nomiya is at last taken aback by Rin's lack of superlative delight. Then he smiles widely at her and gently pats her head. Good girl. The club meeting is finally over, and as I lazily collect my things and help clean up, I start feeling exhausted for some reason. There isn't much to do, however, as it's over quickly. I catch up to Rin, who left the club room just a moment earlier. So we're walking down the stairs on the ground floor, while I try to go over Nomiya's passionate speech about art, and Rin seems to be lost in thought. Not an unusual state for her, I've learned, but something about her expression makes me feel uneasy. Penny for your thoughts? That'd be too cheap. You're just overpricing your thoughts. I wouldn't be able to sell them anyway. I'm not sure what I'm thinking yet. That'd be fraud too, like stealing a candy from a baby. That's theft, not fraud. I mean, okay, I guess they are two different things, but I have to think about what I think. Actually, some cases of fraud could be considered theft. Yeah. Okay. This is about what the teacher said. Getting your work put on display and all that. She doesn't answer, but stops in her tracks as we reach the lobby. It's been a while since we've seen this. We're the only people around, so it's very quiet. Footsteps echo from a few floors up as someone hurries along the hallway. I think I'm going to go somewhere elsewhere. I think she's really troubled. Want company? I can't promise much help with the thinking, but it's not like I have much to do, and I'm supposed to do some light exercise. If you like. Rin leads me outside, to the wall behind the dormitories. There's a small back gate there, made from the same wrought iron as the main gate. It leads to the shadowy woodland park behind the school. The gate is rusty, as if it hasn't seen much use. However, it sits open, so we pass through. It's not forbidden for students to leave the grounds, but somehow I feel a little uneasy. A path leads deeper into the forest. Tall Zelkova and maple trees rustle in the wind, their canopies creating patches of chill air hanging in the places where the shadows fall. The forest smells strongly of earth. I almost feel cold, even though the midsummer day is as hot as ever. Rin trudges ahead like a sleepwalker, sure-footed, but with no apparent destination in her mind. Her thoughts seem to be somewhere else. I follow a few steps behind, taking more care to watch where my feet land. The path follows the land uphill at a low angle, sometimes making little detours down here before climbing back upward. The muted brown and gray trunks line the path on both sides, peppered with ferns and other undergrowth. After a little while, I start getting worried. The path is still wide and clear, so there's no chance of getting lost, but it doesn't look like we have any particular destination. There's nothing wrong with a bit of aimlessness wa- wandering around, and I don't want to go that far that I get too tired to walk back. I'm starting to get a little winded, and my legs feel heavy. I want to stop and get a chance to catch my breath against and rest my legs, but Rin keeps on going. Where are we going, or are we going anywhere at all? Worry tree. I see. So what exactly is the worry tree? It's just a tree like this. She stops in front of a particularly large maple that might or might not be the worry tree. Its lush green leaves sway lightly in the breeze, blowing through the small clearing we entered. I guessed as much. There are people who believe that you must come here to wallow in misery if you are miserable. By only by people, I mean me, and the tree isn't actually called anything. So if you're miserable, you talk to the tree about it. No, what? You can't talk to trees. What do you think? I am crazy? No, I didn't mean it like that. Or maybe you talk to trees. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say you were crazy, even though you probably are if you talk to trees. I wouldn't recommend it in either case. People will think you're a weird person. No, just forget it. She looks mildly confused, for which I don't blame her at all. She tilts her head a little to the side, expression melting back to her usual one. Alright, I'm good at forgetting things. So why are we here? Are you miserable then? I can't read the expression she makes. I hate how bad I am at interpreting Rin's mood. She doesn't answer right away. As if she herself isn't quite certain of her own mood, the blank stare changes into a more difficult expression as she shuffles her weight around. Finally, coming to a conclusion, Rin shrugs her shoulders. I've grown to seriously dislike that gesture. It doesn't mean anything. Maybe. I just feel like I'm sinking underwater. I don't know what I should do. I don't know where I should go, that's all. Maybe it's not a big deal, but I thought walking might help. Kind of like if I go somewhere, I would know where I should go. I don't really mind. I don't really know if I did. It really would have made sense if walking had helped to decide where to go. So you don't want to try to get an exhibition? Or rather, you don't know if you do? Can't decide? Rin doesn't say anything for a while, arranging her thoughts in silence. The quiet is broken by bird song from somewhere in the treetops, followed by rustling leaves as the bird takes flight. Maybe. I'm not sure if I can have a thing like that. So far, I've only painted for myself. I don't think I could have my things on display the way I am now. This me couldn't do it. Her reason sounds like a weak excuse. I make my trademark frown, but she doesn't notice it. I don't get it. The teacher certainly thinks you could. I don't think he suggested otherwise. He sounds like he's calling in favors from his friends, too. I know. He's really done a lot for me, but this might be too much. Yeah, no, Nomiya is, like, totally just, like, using Rin, like, to get, like, a vicarious success, basically. like, even if someone has the possibility of getting what you want out of life, you shouldn't try to live vicariously through them, even if you, like, don't have a chance of getting it, because that causes a lot of mental damage. I'm pretty sure my aunt, right? My aunt on my aunt on my father's side has a daughter, and she forced this little girl to play piano since she was yeah, she was about 5. So point is, the little girl doesn't talk to my aunt anymore. Anyway, anyway, so, you know, he's really done a lot for me, but this might be too much. Becoming someone who can do it might be pretty hard. Maybe I couldn't do it at all. He can't do it for me, and if I let him try, I'd just sink deeper and deeper. Also, that little girl no longer plays piano. Rin stands in front of the large maple and turns away from me. I want to close the few feet of distance between us, and I don't know. My irritation is suddenly gone, and I start feeling sympathetic to her. I know exactly how you feel. Well, maybe I don't, but still. I think I haven't felt like I was naturally in control of my whole life. I mean, control of my own life this whole year. I'm just helplessly going along with the flow. Like coming here to this school, I didn't really choose it myself, and I certainly didn't choose this time of my life to learn that I have this condition. I still can't casually say the word aloud. It's like, yeah, it's exactly like being underwater. Like I can't even breathe. Rin turns to face me, a sad expression on her face. Is that why you look so sad all the time? I don't want you to look sad. I don't want to look sad like you. Do I look to you like you look to me? I don't look sad all the time. I just don't know what I should be feeling. What kind of face should I be making? Me neither. Do I look sad now? Not really. You look just as you always do, I think. But I'm sinking. I should try to float up like a rubber duck. Quack, quack, all yellow and creepy. I have to think for a few seconds about which direction I should pursue in this conversation. Then I realize that it doesn't matter. You think rubber ducks are creepy? You don't? I think they look really very creepy. Everything that has eyes and isn't alive is very disturbing. Like rubber ducks and reflections and mirrors. Yeah, I think I kind of get that a little. A little. She plops down on the forest bed, leaning on the maple she named the worry tree. After wondering what to do for a minute, I sit down too, 3 feet apart from her. The forest envelops us in its embrace, and its stillness falls upon the two of us. We sit there without speaking for a long while. I can literally feel the time passing. Patches of sunlight litter the small clearing in a pattern that echoes the maple canopies. One of them falls directly on me, warming me all the way to the bone. I wonder what I could do for myself, and maybe for Rin. For now, I just keep watching for her from this distance. Sometimes she cranes her neck all the way back, so much that it looks almost painful, and stares up at the small patch of sky visible past the canopy of the worry tree. Sometimes she just stares blankly ahead, as if seeing something just beyond her reach. She keeps whispering to herself, but so quietly that I can't hear her, even though I'm sitting right next to her. I only see her lips moving, like she was in the middle of a distant dream. I realize that right now, I no longer feel any of the intense loneliness I feel at night, just before falling asleep. I might be more like Rin than I thought. I can either give up and stay submerged under the weight of all the crap in my life, or try to change myself for the better. Her decision is different, yet the same. And unlike her, I know for sure that I can't stay like this forever. I have to change. Okay, so I'm going to say it again. I'm here. I'm going to try to do a bad ending. or, yeah, or a not good ending in any case. So, I don't know. Does Rin have a bad ending? I don't remember. Anyways, Rin could probably do it, even though she seems to doubt herself. I have no doubts about her strength. She could do it, even if she can't. It makes me feel a bit better too, and I lean back against the tree, breathing out deeply, as if for the first time in a long time. We stay that way in the small clearing until the angle of sun changes and the chilly shadows deepen. No longer warm where we sit, we leave the forest, returning along the same path we took coming in. It doesn't seem like Rin has come to a decision. I wonder if it was a bad idea for me to come along. It's alright, I don't mind. I'm sure the trees and dirt and rocks won't mind either. Did you mind? No, not at all. I think it helped me too. While we walk towards while we walk back towards the dormitories, The sky is changing to a deep ultramarine. The first summer stars twinkle softly from between the spots in the canopy, barely visible like tiny fireflies. I become very self-conscious about Rin's presence. I haven't thought about much. Oh, wait. I haven't thought much about girls since things fell apart with Iwanako. This is kind of the same situation as then, but to be honest, I don't think it really counts for much. Not with Rin. And yet, it feels good walking next to her, even if it's nothing, even if it isn't anything more than this. At first, I think Rin agitated me quite a bit with her unpredictable behavior, but recently, I feel I haven't had to be on my toes so much. I've managed to let myself go a little. It makes me feel satisfied, even though ultimately, I think it's more thanks to Rin than myself. She tries to be disinterested in a huge number of things, but something in her makes me try harder than I normally would. It's not that I want to impress her. I think that truly impressing Rin would take near superhuman effort just because of how she is. Instead, it's because there is this relentless feeling inside of me that I shouldn't let Rin down. It's really weird. I wonder why I started thinking like that. I don't even know what sort of expectations she has about pretty much anything. So how could I let her down? Rin has this unassuming air around her, and she doesn't really talk about stuff very often. Even today's confession of her self-doubt caught me a little off guard. I feel like I want to talk more with her. That realization suddenly draws on me that Rin is basically the only person I talk to nowadays, apart from whatever I have to endure from Chizune, Misha, or Kenji. I feel slightly depressed. But what about Emmy? You have lunch with her? Okay, I'm done. Alright. In front of the dormitories, as if summoned by my dark thoughts, we run into Kenji himself. It feels very odd seeing him outside, breathing fresh outdoor air. At least it's already dusk. I partially expect Kenji would disintegrate upon direct exposure to the sun. Kenji himself seems very insecure as well, standing around looking like he's waiting for something, but doesn't know himself what it might be. Hey Kenji, what are you doing? Hello. How are you? It's me, Hizao. Not sure if you know Tezuka from class 3-4. From his face, I can see that not only he doesn't know Rin, he also can't see her from the short distance. Oh, sup, dudes? Kenji sticks his hand enthusiastically forward, almost straight into Rin's stomach. Rin looks at his outstretched hand in confusion until Kenji clears his throat and retracts the hand. There's something almost cool that he manages to do with social awkwardness. It's not like I'm the most suave man on the planet, but I don't think I'll be able to even approach Kenji's level. I think I respect Kenji a little bit more. If that's possible. So you're waiting for someone? He leans closer and lowers his voice to an agitated whisper. I can feel his facial muscles twitching. Come on, man. You know I can't talk about stuff here in public. They might be listening. I'm going to have to go pick up some stuff from somewhere, and I don't want those snooping student council hags to get on my case. They're the same age as you, bro. Also, I don't trust your friend. Nothing personal. Are you sure he's trustworthy? I briefly consider telling Kenji about Rin's gender, but as it might end up badly for one or both of them, I decide against it. Yeah, I'm sure. He turns from me to Rin, and I immediately get the feeling I have to prevent them from talking to each other with whatever means necessary. However, there's little I can do now, apart from physical violence. In that case, would you be interested in knowing about the worst threat to mankind since they invented vegetarianism? He sounds like a vacuum cleaner salesman. I thought it was Sunday. I see, you're not in the know. Yeah, man. I'm talking about the man-eating cows here. Very few people know what I know, so I'm not surprised. We can't talk here, but if you would like a pamphlet, come to my room after curfew on Mondays or Wednesdays. He suddenly reaches into his pocket and draws out a ballpoint pen and what looks like a convenience store receipt. Kenji furiously scribbles on the scrap of paper and then thrusts it towards Rin. Here's the password. Memorize it and then eradicate any trace of this document. Eat it, burn it, dissolve in acid, whatever. I take the receipt from Kenji, as Rin is unable to do so, and glance at it. It's indeed a receipt. Apparently for 2 rice balls and 5 boxes of matches. I hope he is not planning to burn anything down. On the other side is written just one word. Honey muffin. I show it to Rin too, but she shows no reaction. Thank you. Yo, Izao, you still in that club? The Club of Dark Arts? Fine art. Anyway, I just had a meeting today. Still got your wits about you? No shady mind tricks going on? Nothing personal, man, but I have to be on top of things. Can't get caught with my pants down. Speaking of which, you should really take showers a bit later. Gotta respect that personal space. Nothing personal. Kenji looks around as if he heard something and then straightens his jacket. Okay, I gotta scoot before it gets too late. Later, dudes. Good luck. Kenji takes off rapidly towards the main gate. Rin looks after him, frowning. We watch after Kenji's diminishing figure in silence. What's wrong with him? Technically speaking, I think he's legally blind. Oh, I see. Ah. Yawning, jeez. Oh boy. I can immediately tell from the envelope that it's not about official matters of any sort. Someone actually wrote me an old-fashioned, handwritten paper letter. Actually, I think I'm going to pause here for a sec. Okay, so something I thought of. Actually, I think I forgot it again. Alright, so. Jeez, I've been sitting here for like more than an hour, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just. Needed to stretch a little bit. I can tell from the envelope that it's not about official matters of any sort. Someone actually wrote me an old-fashioned handwritten paper letter. Who bothers doing something like that in this day of age anyway? Yet, as unlikely as the prospect of receiving one sounds, there is definitely a letter lying on my desk. The classes for today are over. Still feeling pretty full from the big lunch that I had unexpectedly eaten at the cafeteria, I returned to my dorm, planning on finishing my homework, and probably skipping dinner or at least just eating light. Oh, that's right. Yeah. He's actively avoiding Emmy. I remember. I feel like I need to eat less than I used to. Maybe I don't use that much energy now that I don't do much beyond reading. However, the letter on my desk has naturally caught my interest. It's the first piece of mail I've received here at Yamaku, so it feels special even if it wasn't something as rare as a handwritten letter. What causes me even more trepidation is the name of the sender, written neatly on the back of the envelope. Iwanako. I have no idea why she would write to me. I haven't been in contact from anyone from my old school since I transferred, and Iwanako is the last person I'd expect to want to write me a letter. Last time I saw Iwanako was terribly awkward, embarrassingly so. She came to my hospital room, peeled me an apple out of courtesy, and then we practically... Actually, hold on. Yeah, she said goodbye, didn't look me in the eye. Might have been natural end to a series of events, yeah. Every time she visited me in the hospital, I wanted to talk to her, but something stopped me every time. Every time that I didn't speak made the next even harder. Iwanako had this aura of fragility around her, as if she'd shatter into pieces at the slightest disturbance. Initially, I think it might have been that delicacy that attracted me to her. But after what happened back then, it felt as if she really had shattered. She looked so sad that I didn't want to say anything that might upset her, and I never could figure out the right words to say. I told her that it wasn't her fault. She nodded, and I really think she understood that if it hadn't been that, then sooner or later something else would have made my heart give out. Yet she looked so hopelessly sad at every time she opened that door and entered my room, so I never managed to say the things I wanted to say. In the end, that might have hurt her even more. Carefully, I open the envelope and draw out the folded letter from within. Okay, this is the same letter. Yeah, this is the same letter, so. Yeah. After finishing reading the letter, I fold it like it was and place it on my desk. I don't know what to think of this. I feel empty and confused. Why now after all this time? Just yesterday I decided that I can't let myself stay like this, and that I try to get on top of my own life. Reading this letter just reminds me of what could have been. Of course, I wish I didn't have to be here. I just want to be on the same class with Iwanako again. Maybe we could talk every day now and go on dates. My life didn't go like that. I didn't really need to be reminded of this. Iwanako needed to write this letter for her own sake, and I'm glad for her that she could, but it would have been better if I hadn't read it. Of course, she was right. I thought of the same thing yesterday. I had fallen into a pit of depression, and now I have to try to climb out. I rip out a page from my notebook, and after a moment of thinking how to frame my words, I write a short reply to Iwanako. I find it difficult to be really honest with her, and at least try to appear somewhat convincing. I don't write her about Yamaku at all. I doubt she will write me again, and I don't feel at all sad about it. I fold my own letter for her, and as I have my own envelope, I set it next to Iwanako's. I'll mail it to her later. Then I lie on the back of my bed, looking at the monotone gray ceiling. A bird sings outside my window, and a sudden gust of wind flutters my curtains. The summer afternoon feels still, as if time had stopped for a brief moment. I think about all the things I've lost and never will regain. Okay, yeah, that was a pretty short segment, so. Yep. I'm saving here. Create a new save. There you go. Honestly, I think I'm gonna take a break for a while. Not a while, probably like about an hour or stuff. But like, I would like to upload. Like, I have like. How do I say that? I have about like 8 videos that I haven't uploaded yet. Just sitting on my computer, and I want them. I want space to be freed, so I'm ending this here. Well, it's been Deen the Autist. Thank you for watching, and I'm gonna be uploading videos, and hopefully I'll be back. So see you later. Thank you.